relationships are wonderful. My friend even said the other time that she thinks I'm a better person when I'm in a relationship.
None of them are going to.
Oh,
I don't think I'm probably dead as far as they're concerned. I'm joking. I wouldn't go that far. But yeah,
because every relationship is a lesson, and every relationship teaches you about yourself. I mean, I'm still trying to figure out in these past relationships, as I said, that I fell in love with. What was the point of that? But maybe, hopefully, by the 31st of December, because after that, I'm not thinking about it.
Is it? Oh, why?
Hi, it's Sips.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? I am Bonga, and you are listening to and watching the
Unintentional podcast. And today we're here with a very special friend of ours, Mmabatho Mokoena.
Hello.
Welcome.
So it's been a very, very long road. Since we actually recorded our first episode together.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which unfortunately actually didn't make it onto the platform. But I remember that time you're also like heavily pregnant.
Yes, Lord.
Yeah.
But thank you for having me back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah, thank you.
And so just tell us about, your newborn. How's that been?
Well, it's a lot. Never in my wildest dreams did I think I'll have a son or a baby over 40 years of old, At that time, you're thinking maybe you're raising your kids and you now relax in terms of motherhood. They can sort of take care of themselves. And then there I was. A sweet surprise. Yeah, no, he's growing up. He's almost a year old.
Wow.
Yeah, so we are at that stages where we're learning to walk, saying our first words. Yeah, so it's very interesting.
Okay. And the last time we were on the show, you had we were speaking about youth empowerment, and obviously now it's the month of June, and it's the youth month in South Africa. Can you just tell us a bit more about basically your business? Is it still going on, Palesa Cuisine, and when did you start that?
Okay. I had obviously a dream because I had a gift or a talent given by God to cook. I decided that I was going to make money out of it. And Palesa was born from that. We started by having a restaurant in 2018, right pre-COVID.
All right.
And yeah, it was successful. It ran its course up to, of course, COVID 2020. As you all know, most businesses were completely derailed by that.
Yes.
Well, mine was one of those. I do still continue with Palesa, but I only do it privately. So I'll do private catering, gigs, funerals, weddings, that's what I do.
Okay.
So I would say it's more part-time, but I'm doing something else as well now.
Okay.
I am also an estate agent.
Okay.
I know.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Like that.
So I worked 2 years as an intern for one of the big agencies in town, until I qualified, and then I started my own thing. And it so happens that just yesterday I happened to sign up 5 learnerships for youth, unemployed youth, to take them on a journey for 12 months, and it's basically in partnership with the Department of Economic Development, and they get a stipend of 3,000 rands a month. They get taken through tertiary to get a qualification to be qualified estate agents, and while they are getting the mentorship and the actual training from me.
Oh wow, that's just amazing. Especially when you think now the youth unemployment the youth unemployment rate is at like 45.5.
It is.
So it's very important, you know. Those are one of the huge factors that are affecting the youth.
Oh, definitely.
And especially in Pietermaritzburg. And I was actually reading that the gender is the female is that like the bottom of the food chain. So I appreciate it when women step up to the plate and also help pull up other young people. So can you just tell us a bit more, Gutsi, where do you envision taking your company now with estates?
Okay, I just believe that when you have a gift, your responsibility is basically giving the gift back. So whilst I'm also learning the trades, I mean, I'm still quite new. And as you know, there are bigger fish in the sea. But, you know, what I always say is, take that 2 clients, those 3 clients, those 5 clients, and make the best of it, so that with them you get what you call word of mouth, and that can obviously build your brand up to, you know, infinity if you let it be. It's just that you got to be ethical. Of course, it's you know, there's a lot of red tape in the industry. You gotta just be ethical and be honest and be transparent as far as you can. There will be bad deals and there'll be good deals, but in between, just make sure that you have your eyes on the ball. So basically what I would do is, I don't want to grow big too soon. I want to grow steadily, and, you know, at a rate that I can manage, and I can be proud of myself and say I did the job well. But at the same time, bringing along other youth or other people or other females along with me, because there aren't many black-owned female estate agents, as far as I know. I know even with this project, I think I was the only black female agent that actually partook in this project. So it's something I'm very, very proud of, especially because my company is literally 5 months old.
Sounds like another political party.
Oh yes. Yes.
So in terms of actually, I remember you said back then that you had opened a space with your partner. Is that still operational?
Oh yes, that is his baby. It's at the back of our house. It is running as a men's lounge. Well, it started running off as a men's lounge. It's now basically a place for people to come and chill and relax, and they watch sports, or they watch whatever is going on in the TV at that day. And also, while doing that, we incorporate Palesa, because then I can also cook for them. So it's basically 2 things in one. Yes, it's called Dukkah House, and it's progressing very nicely. Yes,
I saw also that you had a session there, a music session. What can you tell us about that?
All right, so the sessions run once a month on the first Sunday of each month. And basically it's people who are talented, whether they are artists who sing or poetry, or even fashion and design. Whatever you want to show off or showcase on that day, you are able to do it for free. So you don't buy space. You just come in and you display whatever your talent is. And basically it's so good, because again, most of the youth is there. And you'll be amazed at how talented our young people are these days. You know, they actually don't need to go into corporate. There is so much talent that's out there, but I just think that government has not been hasn't given it enough of a drive to actually, you know, mold that more. So I feel that it is a part of our responsibilities as people who have spaces like Dukkah House to engage the youth and to showcase such talent.
And that's interesting, because our guest, our last guest, Unana, she also has, you know, those spaces where she invites creatives, you know, where they can all come together, showcase their talent, make collaborations, you know. So I think that's also an important thing, and especially for the youth who feel like, you know, maybe they need to go to school and study and get the degree, and maybe they have a talent of singing or something, and they're afraid to actually pursue that, because they like, who's gonna see my things, and where can I actually go and show off my art or my talent?
You're so right. And I think also social media has been the good and the bad in our society. It's been bad in a way that those who have the space, those who have the luck, are showcasing more and more of their talent, while the people who are in the rural areas are in the back burner and they're not able to showcase. But also it's been good in a way that, you know, there are some kids who are coming up from social media. But again, it means that that child has had to have a phone. With a camera, a smartphone with a camera and good lighting, and also Wi-Fi. Obviously a Wi-Fi or data. You know, so social media has done the good and the bad. And I was reading an article that said actually most kids are feeling the pressure so much so, and that's why you see an increase in kids wanting to kill themselves. You know, the suicide rate has gone up because people are now they feel they need to compare themselves to what is going on out there, which is actually quite sad. Yeah,
it is. And I have to ask, with regards to the young performers that you've managed to secure at the establishment, is how did those relationships come about? Did they approach you? Does your husband know them? Did you know them from somewhere? And
all right, he has a little our young brother who's Pelele. He has done this at university level, so he was writing it and showcasing at university level. But after they were all done and graduated, he felt like those people were still out there and they were not now showcasing their talent. They were unemployed, they're sitting back, they've got their guitars, they've got their keyboards, their mics, their everything, all the tools, but no way to showcase it, you know. And so he thought of bringing it back, and so he asked us and approached us if we could use our space to do it. The first time it ran, it was incredible, because even though we didn't have any outsiders, it was literally the creatives on their own, but it was so superb. And then the next time we did it, it was even more phenomenal, because then the very creatives then invited some of their friends and people they know. And I think eventually it'll be so big that we really can't run it in the backyard. But right now, that's what we call it, a backyard session.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
And I saw Many More was also there. They've also been on the show before.
Oh,
and,
okay.
Yeah, so I was just interested because I'm just seeing, would see how many little pockets are now developing of these sort of backyard sessions in Pietermaritzburg. And I'm just thinking, maybe one day, someday, it would be nice to have a collaborative one, where all these spaces come together
in one big venue. That'll be great. But I also, in as much as we all want to be in a big venue, but I think also there's this new phenomenon of people wanting to be safe. You know, we're now running away from having spaces that are too big and too open because of the chaos that comes with it. So some of the nice things about having a backyard is that, for example, we don't advertise it as widely as you think as we would, because again, we don't want to make money or a profit out of it. We just want to share the creative space, and we want to showcase the talent that we have. But that'll be an incredible idea to have maybe once a quarter or once every year to showcase something like that. That'll be really great too. So when you coordinate it, please let me know.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And then with regards to I guess the catering aspects of it as well, your clients, how do you source those, and how difficult or how challenging was it to pick up after now going private, as opposed to being a private not chef, a private caterer, as opposed to just having an established business? It
is amazing. As I say, I'm going to go back to a gift, because each one of us are born with something unique within us, and I would say that's what it really is. I haven't really marketed the company. I haven't been expanding the brand and actually being actively participating in expansion of the brand. I guess because I knew my potential. I knew that I no longer had full-time staff. So whatever I do, I've got to really carefully coordinate it. But it's amazing, again, as I say, how a word of mouth can do a world of good, And I sort of pick and choose now. I think I'm at that level where I'm so lucky to pick and choose. I now say, I cannot do this, but can I refer you to so and so? And sometimes I'll feel like, I want to really do this, and then I'll do it. I'll get on my team and we'll have a go at it. I think I'm more busy now Christmas time. I would advertise a package for each family, because I've realized now that we're all so busy. Our families are so busy. There's never really time to cook. And so much time and family time is lost while you cook. So many families are really now depending on people like me to cater and give out packages or Christmas packages for the holidays. And you end up having families, they'll actually order far beyond Christmas, even on 26th of December, even on the 31st, on the 30th. So that is kind of the busy times that I'm now getting involved in. I no longer do as much funerals. When there are funerals, I do have a team of about 5 ladies or chefs that are absolutely really brilliant at this. Chef Hle, Chef Nomandla. There's so many of them, you know, and they are so talented. So when it comes to things like that, I'll rather give that work back to them, so that it gives me more time to focus on what I really need to do. Yes.
And in terms of that, is there some kind of place where, you know, you guys meet each other as chefs, you know, or caterers, and, you know, sometimes there is competition, you know, but, you know, as you say, you pass on your work now sometimes to different chefs. Is that more of like a collaborative thing? How do you guys meet?
I don't know. You know, I once said to somebody that I don't find competition in anyone else, and somebody said I was very arrogant, but I'll try and explain why.
Yeah.
I feel like we are also unique in our talents. For example, ujekre. I'm not that good at making ujekre, so I'll go to Chef Hle for ujekre. And then there are things like inyama le yezulu, inkukhu yezulu. Ibizwa ngani konje?
Not sure. Not sure.
There's a certain way to do it. So I'll go to Chef Nomandla and I'll ask her to do it, you know. And then there is Chef Usne, you know, from 705, who cooks literally from the kitchen, her home kitchen in Bali. And she will do the best cheese board for you. So I just feel like there's no competition. But, you know, where you're good, harness your goodness and expose it. And for sure, those people also come back to me and say, "Oh, nyama yakho yangaphakathi, you know, help me make it for a group of 50 people." Whereas I'll go to Hle and say, "Please make jekka for me for 50 people." So I think there's so much collaboration. There's not so much competition, or at least among the space that I'm in. We're just so happy to collaborate. We're so happy to share. And it's all been good, and we applaud each other every time we see somebody. We sing praises, we share their businesses on Facebook. I don't know if it's our age, maybe we're getting old, but we are just so comfortable and so inspired by each other. There is not much room for jealousy.
That's great. And in terms of, you know, now we're going through a really transformative period in our country, you know, with the new party and everything. What are your sentiments about, you know, the future?
You know, I think it's a great time. I mean, it's June, right? It's the 1st of June actually today. What a time to be alive, firstly. And I feel like it's a sweet melody of the democracy. I mean, we are 30 years in, and this is what democracy is. The fact that, you know, a long-standing party, black prominent party, can actually be pushed to the side by another black prominent party. For me, it's a sweet sound or melody of democracy. It says that we as people, and I'm not going to even speak for any other race, but us as black people, we have so much power now, and the power is in our hands. Amandla way to change the narrative, to say this is what we want, and not just about the new party that you are talking about. I mean, even the DA, I saw that their numbers increased, and when you look around, I know a lot of black people that voted for the DA, and when you listen to why they voted for the DA, you get amazed, because you know, we hear people differently and we hear things differently, and when you hear somebody else's views, especially when they are passionate about that idea, you realize, oh my God, we are really living in such good times, and you know, it's the blood of the people that died before us, you know, it's now living and it's showing up, and it's giving effect. I mean, we are free, finally. We are really truly free. We are truly a rainbow nation, and yeah, the world is our oyster. That is how I feel.
And how do you feel about the people who are saying that you know, there's some tribalistic aspect of it?
I don't believe that it is tribalistic. If you look at for example, Limpopo. I mean, some people voted. They scattered their votes all around. If it was tribalistic, for example, there are zones that were always known as IFP zones, which the other party now, MK, is now finally, you know, taken over. Then there's the Mpumalanga. You know, would you say they are number 2 in Mpumalanga. Would you say that's tribalistic? That's Mpumalanga. I don't think it is. I think obviously we cannot run away from the fact that the man behind the brand, you know, people have loved him for years.
Yes.
For whatever reason, he's always just, you know, people have heard him and people have felt, you know, bad or felt a certain way when he was treated certain ways, you know, and whatever that is, it's basically translated into him being strong behind this brand, and this brand then obviously gaining support as a result. I think that's really what it is. But hopefully the new party will grow beyond the one man. You know, hopefully we'll find other leaders, or we discover or rediscover other leaders who are phenomenal, who can then push this brand forward. Because we cannot have obviously a one-man show. That is what really I'm hoping for, that more talent comes through and we see a better display of democracy in existence.
Thank you so much. And then we're also celebrating Father's Day this month. Can you say, if you just give a message to the fathers out there?
Message to the fathers. I guess the message that I have to the fathers is be present. You know, so many times that you find that fathers would say, I do provide for my kids. You know, that seems to be the order of the day, that everybody's saying that. I'll say be present. Even if you don't have money, just show up for the kids. Have memories with your children, especially a girl child. You know, girl children that grow without a father. It's really sad. When I look at the relationship that I have with my father and how from a very young age, all I've known is my father, and he's always been present in my life. I think it's driven me to a better woman, a better wife, a better mother, a better businesswoman. You do need a male figure in your life. Male figures are so important, and to also the boy child, obviously, you know, because they grow up wanting to be that man at an older age. So if fathers can just be a little bit more present, it will make a world of difference. Yes, that is my only message. And also to say Happy Father's Day.
Okay, thank you so much. Bonga, do you have anything?
No, except just to thank you, man. Just soaking it all in, the wisdom, your analysis of, you know, the way things are currently in our world and our province and the country, and in your businesses as well. Well, I suppose maybe a side question, I think, or an observation rather, was, you know, based on your ability to sell, you know, your business, your brand, your ideas. Like, I'm assuming, am I right or wrong in saying that, is that a skill that you may have picked up in your work as an estate agent, or is it something that was inherent in you and that you just happen to apply in your estate work and in your own business and otherwise?
You mean like the marketing aspect of it? The marketing
aspect of it, and just representing the brand and speaking well on its behalf.
I think I'm just a talker.
Is it? Well,
yeah, I think I'm just a speaker, and if I'm passionate or feel, that's why I don't start anything that I don't love. I don't start anything because people are driving at it or people are now selling this and I'm going to run for it. No. Once you have passion about anything that you do, it comes easy. You don't have to actually battle to sell it. And also, if you have conviction and you have faith, and you are basing it also on ethical grounds, you know, you can do anything that you want to do. Honest to God, it's just, don't look at what everybody is doing. Just look inside you and say, what do I have as a gift? What has God given me that I can do without flinching? And take note of that and harness it and grow it and work on that. Don't let anyone else be a competition.
True. So my parting shot really was just acknowledging that, noting it, and giving you your props for that, and thank you for sharing that with us.
Thank you.
And look forward and wishing you all the best.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me again.
Thank you for coming. And remember to catch us on all platforms, social media platforms, at Unintentional Podcast. And I think to end off this episode, I won't give you a word of wisdom. I would let our guest actually, you know, message for the youth, just for Youth Day.
Okay. My message for the youth today is, you have so much power in your hands. All you have to do is harness it, as I always say. That's my word. Harness it. Don't look at anybody or what they are doing. Don't look at social media, what anybody's doing. Look at you. Look at your individual self. Look at the gift or the talent that God has given you or that you have been bestowed with, and run with it. And run like you're crazy, and don't let anybody deter you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's a wrap.
Thank you.